Hello everyone and welcome to Dyson Sphere Program, our second day and stream of this game. This is Otaku Showboat with Dolly. Yes, how's my Dolly? How's that Dolly? She's sleepy. Sleepy on the back of the chair and Ollie. And Ollie, who is grooming himself in my lap, the pretty boy. We've got two kittens joining us on this second stream day. It is absolutely glorious. So, how is everyone doing today? My day has been fine. I started the day with Factorio today. And since yesterday, a few things have been pointed out, actually, but two very important things in particular. One of which is that I was wrong on the thermal power station, because as it turns out, I was looking at this generation capacity number, assuming that this number referred to the machine. No, this is the total output of the entire grid. This is the entire grid. This is not what the machine produces. The machine produces up to 2.16 megawatts. So just for example, when I had placed this building without any fuel on it, it doesn't tell you how much power it produces at maximum capacity. So I saw this number, and I thought that this was the number that the machine produced. And I did my math as to how much fuel I should feed into it based off of that value, because nowhere on this screen does it actually tell you the maximum power output of the thermal powered station. It tells you this information in the tooltip in your inventory for the thermal power station. It produces 2.16 megawatts of power at 80% efficiency, which, as it turns out, the amount of fuel you need to feed it at 80% efficiency is equal to 1 coal per second. 1 coal 2.7 times 0.8 is equal to the 2.16 that this is able to produce. As it turns out. So it's 1. It's 1. This is making, up to 3. This makes 3 per second. This is using 1. So I could add 2 more onto this, ideally. No, so what I had ended up calculating was the amount of coal it would take to completely replace all of the wind farms in the entire base, which ended up being like 5 something per second. More than what I have is the point there. So that was the first thing to note. The second thing to note is that I was thanked for pointing out the fact that the conversion of coal to energetic graphite, you have to absolutely take into account the power used by the building itself in that conversion. The one thing that I did not take into account when doing that math is the power draw of the sorters as well. And as it turns out, when you take into account the sorters, I think if the sorters are marked level 1, best case scenario, it's a 1-to-1. As in, there's no gain whatsoever when converting coal ore into energetic graphite. It's just all the power that is gained from this conversion is lost on the sorters and the building itself used to make it. So all potential gain is just lost in the production. So yeah, there's that. There is that. I could add a couple of additional doohickeys, thermal stations onto here, or attempt to anyway. Humma? That's too far. Alright. Never mind. I don't need this many sorters on you. Let's just shove stuff onto a belt here. Shove it on a belt. Thanks. And then input onto the machines there. These should be moving at 1.5 items per trip. Or 1.5 trips per second, excuse me. Why are you 0.75? Excuse me? The curvature of the planet has screwed me. Ah, there we go. The curvature of the planet. Thank you for existing curvature. There we go. So now we have 3. That's going to use all of the stuff. This unloads at 3 items per trip, so that's just fine. That is perfectly fine. And yeah, that's going to make a bit more power, up to 2.16 each. Of course, minus the power of the mining machine, minus the power of all the 5 inserters, 3 of which are Mark IIs, in terms of net power gain that we've got going on there. What did we do last time? We started the game, and we figured out a lot of stuff about production of the iron and the copper and the coal and the stone, and we did all of that, and we've been trying to figure out how we're going to organize a main bus on here, if that's even a thing that we want to have, for example. And we've unlocked the splitters at this point too, making this a bit nicer, neater of an overall of an overall setup. It's kind and nice. But it's not done yet. It is time for us to consider getting our red items, our red matrices. That is going to be interesting. How do solar panels work? Not during the day, as I suspected. Now, the question about the solar panels that I have, you get a copy of a solar panel when you unlock the tech. I can't really make any more right now. The question I have about solar panels is, can they be occluded by your own base buildings? That is the question I have about the solar panels. My suspicion is that probably not. Not at this phase of the game anyway. Maybe at some point they will have that level of occlusion. We're also, you know, a moon of a gas giant right now, so what happens when the planet covers the sun, gets in the way of the sun? Well, there are periods where there will be some sort of perpetual night on this moon at specific times of year, just by or specific parts of the orbit of the moon around the gas giant. Even though this thing is rotating constantly, eventually that gas giant's in the way for a bit, right? This is a thing with Kerbal Space Program, in case you're wondering, that you have to take into account whenever you send stuff out to the moons of gas giants in Kerbal Space Program. You can't exclusively depend upon big arrays of solar panels to do your missions out there, because there are extended periods of time without sunlight due to the freaking gas giant blocking the sun. And I would expect a similar type of mechanic here at some point or other. We are producing our power 98% intensity for the given location of this planet. The other question I would have is, do we have tidally locked planets at this point, or do they all spin? Because that is also a thing to consider, because any tidally locked planets to the sun will always have one side of the planet facing the sun and one side of the planet not facing the sun. So you could only really rely on... So you can guaranteed rely on solar on the side that's always facing the sun and up to the twilight regions in the north and south. Here I am just going on and on about ways in which I can make the game more complex than it already is. We're literally building a Dyson Sphere. We're on the path to building a Dyson Sphere. And here I am talking about making things more complicated and more realistic. Huh. Gee. Let's get rid of some of these stacks of crud that are just eating up inventory space at the moment. I want that stone ore. Let's keep it at that. I need a thingy to tap into these crude oil seeps. I need to start working with oil. I need steel for that. Okay. Steel cannot be made by hand. I will need to process the plates, ingots of iron into steel. Where shall I do this? Good question. Steel is generally considered, I would generally consider steel to be a base material. I'm going to go ahead and do this on a dedicated spot on another source of iron if there's any nearby. That's what I would like. Actually, I will need a few assemblers to, or a few smelters to do that. I have how many smelters? 1. Okay. We'll make 10 and go from here. There's iron up here, and up here. Excellent. Excellent. And I have quite a bit of an array of stuff as well. I have 1 miner. I want more. Because I want to actually get more thermal power stations. Yes, that's the plan. We are going to scale. That is the first part of this. And then we are going to make steel, and then we are going to... well, we're going to scale power so that I can delete safely a lot of this power. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start trimming away all of this power out here. Oh, is that coal too? Oh. Well, that's nice. Alright, how are we doing on the power load? Actually, really well. Actually, power load is pretty good right now. I think I am going to cut back on a lot of this stuff. Ollie. Ollie, you're snoring. Please. That's not allowed around here. I know I have a soft voice, but please God. No snoring. I know my voice can be a little bit calming. Let's not go for that calm. Okay, so while I'm standing in the thing, if I need to be charged, it will massively spike the power. Good to know. I have made stuff. I'm gonna do the power off of these. How many can I get? That's 4, 4, 3, 6, 5, 5, 7. What is 7 times 30? So that'll be 210? 210 that this produces. That will be unfortunate because that's like, what? A half value? That's a half value. So a thermal station takes 1. If this is 210, 210 divided by 60 would be 3.5. 3.5. I need this to cover 8 veins. Or I would like it to cover 8 veins. That's 7. That is 7. See, that would be 8. Oh, 8! 8. We got it. It's covered 8 ore veins. That is going to be 240, and we'll be able to feed 4 power stations very easily. How many level 1 sorters do I have? Probably not enough. Probably 0. Let's make 20 of them at level 1. Speaking of which, I have automated my production of belt at this point. That's what we ended off the last stream with. So I've got a few units of belt being made. It's glorious. Absolutely wonderful. I will need a Tesla tower. Probably multiple Tesla towers. There you go. F1. You're not allowed to go straight out that way. Alright. Fine. And I want these stations to exist in a line. 4, 3, 1, go. At least I can walk between them. Hey, hey. Ooh. Unfinished graphics. Right here. Right here. There's no internal. There's like no face there. Gotta point him out when you see him. And there you go. That's 4 more times 2.16 megawatts. of potential capacity on our network. The only thing is that needs to be hooked up to the power grid as well. I would think. Oh no, they are all connected to each other. They are down their line. Good. So that should be total 18.7 that I can do. I wish it would break it down by generation type. Also, what is this disconnected network 1? What is network 1? Probably, I don't know. There shouldn't be. It should all be one network. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. But by doing that, I should now be able to pretty freely get rid of the wind turbines. How much does this actually use? 420, so that means you need 2 wind turbines to feed these mining machines. Now, the problem with everything being wireless is that it really doesn't allow you to have a separate grid for these, right? Like, trying to keep these separated from these, like, they'll try to attach from that far away to these machines. So there's no, I'm gonna just place this far enough away to only cover the sorter. Because that's what I would prefer doing here. I would prefer having like a couple of wind turbines with the Tesla towers only covering the inserters and the mining operation, and then keeping that as a separate grid completely from everything else that the generators are attached to. I could get that for the machine. It wouldn't work for the sorters, unfortunately. Not possible on the sorters, but possible on the machine. So, speaking of the machine, we're going to go over here, and it is time to set up steel. Eight is good. I like 8. So again, 30 each. That's going to be 4 per second of the iron. And this iron, we need to convert 4 per second of the iron into stuffs, plates. Now, this question, I can't, I need an extra gap, don't I? Yeah, for whatever reason. And then it counts as a 2 gap from machine to machine. It's like, why is it length 2? Why must we have this be length 2 always, no matter what? Alright, this recipe is going to be steel. 3 plates into 1 steel every 3 seconds, okay? So that is consuming 1 iron ingot per second. This makes 1 iron ingot per second. Ta-da! But the overall output of steel is 3 times less than the amount of iron ore put in. It is a 1-to-1 that makes things fantastic, actually. This is going to consume 1 iron ore per second, meaning I need 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, And F5, connect that, connect that, connect that. F1, 3 F1. Excuse me. Huh. Apparently, I am able to do that. Screw you, game. I was able to do the thing without you. Okay. Those should be able to do 1.5 per trip. That's more than the 1 that I need. And then, of course, just need the level 1s on the output here. That's going to be the steel output. Come on, Constructo bots. We've got 4 of you now. Yay! Able to make things so much faster because of that. Huzzah! Huzzy Hazoo. Huzzah. Huzzo. I don't have any. Well, alright then. Things. Make those. And make that. Okay. In the meanwhile, it's using all of them to make these. Oopsies. Replicator, go. Do the thing. Make the stuffs. You've made 1 stuff. You know, the one great thing about these that they have over the Factorio big power poles is that these will connect to the smaller power pole at the max connection distance. It don't do that in Factorio. You need to put a big pole and then another big pole to get the max distance, but we've got a much greater distance off of this just inherently. And that's good. Right? That's nice. Very nice to see. How are we doing? We are officially making steel. It is a box with girders. It is a box with a picture of beams. Excellent. Speaking of a box, give me a box.
You built a storage, which can be used to store cargo. You can manually store or use the stored.
I know I have built a storage. I have been doing so for a while. Thanks. New thing. So the game was updated, by the way. Oh, I guess I don't actually need the big pole now, technically, over here, since I connected all that. Are you fast enough? Yes. Between the two of you, you are fast enough. I now have steel with which to build my oil refineries. I can build oil refineries as well as oil extractors now. I will build these one at a time, and I'm pretty sure this is just limited by the amount of steel that I have in my inventory right now. Speaking of which, sort all that, delete that, delete that, delete that. What else? Get that out of my inventory. That is a fluid.
You built a storage tank. It is more suitable for storing fluid than the storage. Each storage tank can only store one single type of fluid and can be built vertically. However, Once it has been
All the
removed,
stored fluid
all
will
the
be
stored
lost.
fluid will be devastated.
Will be devastated. Devastated, it says. It will be devastated. You. More. Make me refinery. Okay, we have a couple of places where oil exists on the map. There's one over here, though, that I wanted to tap into first. Right about here. Oil. How you doing? Where's that, extractor? Oh, hi. That is... large. We'll do that there. Why, hello. You are going to make 1.52 per second of crude oil. Crude oil has an energy value of 4 megajoules. Great. 1.52, huh? So, that oil refinery that I just made, wherever it is, you have a production speed of 1x, consume a freaking megawatt. Great. And the recipe I'm doing...
This will produce multiple products. To divide them, you need to set a filter on the sorter. You can use tab or the arrow keys on the right side of the
Yeah. We'll get to that, thanks. So this processes 2 every 4 seconds. Or 1/2 of 1 per second. So if this is gonna do 1.52, it will take 3 of these to process all of the crude oil into refined oil, which I just have to laugh at the fact that that's going to be 4.4 megajoules. How much of it is made? 1 to 1, oh boy. Considering that the machine itself is like a megawatt of power, nearly a megawatt of power to convert a crude oil into refined oil every freaking, apparently 4 seconds. It's like, oh, yeah, it takes, 1.8, just like 1.7 megawatts of power to actually make 4 megajoules become 4.4 megajoules. What a great net positive that is. AKA net negative, that is. Oh, Ollie finally has left my lap for cooler pastures on the towel. Ollie is now there. Yes, there's the Ollie. He's a big boy. And of course behind me is Dolly. We've got Dolly right here. Much smaller. Much smaller than the Ollie. She just likes being behind me a lot of the time, right behind my head. Okay, so I've determined that I need 3 of these to process everything with this particular recipe. Spoilers, I don't think we're going to be doing this particular recipe for particularly long. But we shall see. We shall see. I need to get more of the everything. I can apparently only make 1 of you. What am I missing? Iron plate. Let me grab some iron plate. I need to make some more of you. I also need to place down a storage that's just going to be like my, hey, take stuff that I don't need right now. storage. I might need the glass, actually. That wasn't much stored. There, take those things. I may want the tank. In fact, I know I'll want the tank. In fact, that's what the glass is used for, dummy. The glass will be used to make the fluid tanks. I would hope. Yes. Yes, glass makes fluid tanks. Who'da thought? Who'da thunk it? Also, we totally need a, how to... Oh. That. Click on the thingy and you'll grab from the belt. Look. I'm used to Factorio where you can just stand on top of the thing and hold F to pick things up. Just hold a hotkey. Alright, how many tanks? Let's make 2 more. And I need to get the energetic carbon, whatever they want to call it, activated. Energetic graphite. Brought over to the main bus. Okay. This will require lift of at least 1 level. What do you mean, collide with another object? Like, what do you mean? Collide. We know collide. Build. Actually, that's 1 too many. Ta-da! Alright, 4 bots. Go and place all those things for me. This is the one little niggling thing I have, is just the placement of objects is basically like you're placing blueprints and you have to have the robots do your work for you. Even if you have the thing, it's like you aren't actually doing the work of placing the thing down.
Your production compound has reached a certain scale. Now, click the Statistics panel button at the bottom right corner of the screen to view statistics.
Hi.
It includes the output consumption of each item, electricity data, etc. Use these dynamic data can help you to manage your production base.
You know, this is actually pretty useful. So it's telling me that I am consuming as much as I'm producing of the iron, which, I mean, duh. I am consuming as much as I am producing of the stone. Duh. I am consuming of my coal. Yeah. I am which is exactly what it should be if I'm making the, carbon stuff. And I am only consuming 375 of 405 of my iron ingot production. This means that I have a storage that is currently filling. Ideally. What that means is that there is some sort of a buffer that is filling. Whenever it's not, when you're producing more than you're consuming. If you are consuming more than you are producing, then you are emptying a storage to keep up the consumption versus production. And yeah, we are producing graphite, but not consuming it quite yet. We are producing steel, filling a box. This will go to 0 once the box is full. Same with glass. This is filling up the belt line. And the gears are being used and consumed until I finish producing the conveyor belts. Of course, conveyor belts will fill a box. And we're not researching anything, so these other things are not moving quite yet. This is actually pretty useful information, and you can sort it by system as well. And you can like look at the entire star cluster to see what everything is like. That's neat. Similarly, I don't know about this total energy consumption. Like, do I really need to know that I am consuming 74.1 gigajoules, or that I have consumed 74.1 gigajoules of total power at this point? Like, do I really need to know the total? Energy capacity 18.7 megawatt, and we are demanding 7 point some odd megawatt. Cool, and you can see how it has increased and decreased over time, over the last 10 minutes. And battery data. Okay, this means that yes, there are batteries in this game. And there are research, and the Dyson Sphere project itself is, yeah, going to be a thing. So there's that info. Glorious info. I'm just so happy that they went the route of, let's just have it be Factorio and Satisfactory, just better than both on the belt system. I really like this belt system. It is so much better than either Factorio or Satisfactory, just because it's better than Satisfactory in that it's so much easier to actually place the belt yourself. It's so much easier than being in that first person mode and just having to do things, just complete tedium in that game, to do any building whatsoever. And then better than Factorio because, well, we're 3D and we can stack the stuff. We can just stack the stuff. Now, we don't have the complexity of the double lanes per belt of that Factorio has, though. That is one thing Factorio has going for it that's a little bit more additive to the complexity, is that there's 2 lanes per belt. Not so here. There's no mixing of stuff in individual lanes on this. But hey, gotta start somewhere. You gotta call it at some point, and then the 2-lane thing is probably a bit too much to think about, especially when it plays a role into the size of the splitters and the size of the loading and all that. This was very much designed around the concept of there being just one item on a belt, just like in Satisfactory. Okay, shift click. I need to determine where I want this in the grandest of grand schemes. Right, so how do I get stuff into you? Can I just belt into you? Yes. Yes, I can. This is a splitter. Right? Like, this is basically a splitter. You can do 3 out on this. Am I interpreting this correctly? This is just like a splitter in disguise. And it stores fluids. I mean, I like, don't get me wrong, I like a lot. What? Oh. Huh? I need more, what? More oil refinery. Go. I need at least 3 for what I'm about to do here. That will need stuff. What am I lacking? The what? The glass? I'm gonna assume it is the glass to make these thingies. Now, I could automate all of this. Just so as we're aware and very clear on how this game is and how all of this type of games, how all of these types of games behave, we can automate all this production. Like, I've already started to do some lower level of automation by automating my belt production. I could go ahead and switch off and automate these things, these prisms, and these plasma exciters. I could just automate those. I will have to, likely, at some point, automate the production of these plasma exciters. I could get gears put onto my belt network. Of course, it's 1-to-1 from iron ingots, so I don't see the point. The age-old Factorio question: do you put iron gear wheels on your main bus? It's that problem. No is the correct answer. The majority of the time. So that is what we'll not do. Electric motors. I need to make some of these for a tech. Unless I already took the tech. Tech! Hello. Did I already take... Ooh, I can do this now. Hi. I need to grab circuit boards. And I can get that. I can also get this. I can't get this other stuff at the moment. That's all gonna be red matrices. Oh, I can, yeah, I've already viewed that stuff. What about any of this? That's red, 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 blue. Unlocks graphene. Hold up. Unlocks graphene from an oil type. It unlocks 2 recipes to get graphene. It unlocks this sugar cube into hydrogen and graphene, and it unlocks this type of oil product. I think that's sulfuric acid plus energized graphite. Yes, sulfuric acid. I am learning. The issue I have with this is, like, how the heck are you going to get sulfuric acid at this point in the game? I'm assuming that's water and stone and refined oil into sulfuric acid at a chemical facility, at a chemical plant, which is able to be made. I can make one, and it unlocks the plastic recipe in that same chemical facility from the residual oils, not residual, it's refined oils and energetic carbon to get the plastic, but I don't have a use for the plastic yet. I technically would have a use for graphene, but would I really want to use the graphene? What do I use the graphene for? This is advanced graphene from... what? It's cubes into hydrogen and graphene. Well, I'm gonna queue it just because it's a tech I can technically take. And we'll figure out what we need the graphene for as we go along. Really important stuffs, most likely. Ideally. Fractionator. Deuterium fractionation. Really? Nuclear? Shall we go nuclear? Mini fusion power generation uses... allows you to make deuterium based fuel rods, a deuteron, from a thing, deuterium, and stuff. To make it to be processed in this. This is 600 megajoules. Cool. This is 9 megawatts. Now, let me tell you something. 600 over 9. 600 divided by 9 is a number that is rather large amount of time. So you don't really need that many of these fuel rods to feed a mini fusion power station. And it is 100% efficiency, so you will get that 9 megawatts out of whatever fuel you're feeding into this. Of course, the higher the fuel value of the fuel that you give it, the longer that the fuel will last. Because it can only consume megajoules per second. 9 megajoules per second. Think of that a watt is a joule per second, so a megawatt is a megajoule per second. Yeah, that's nice. We'll think about that once we get to it. Just taking our time learning. Drinking second brewed coffee in the process. So what did I think about doing here? Can level the surface to 0 altitude. If you use the foundation for high ground, you'll get a soil pile. On the contrary, if you use it on the ocean or low-lying areas, you must consume soil piles. When laying foundation, you can choose a kind of decoration, or without decoration, only level the surface. So, how much of that do I need? Oh my gosh, that's stone blocks plus steel per unit foundation. Nah. Nah. No, thank ya. No spank ya. I'm okay. I'm okay. Prisms, you get 2 every 2 seconds. This process is 2 every 2 seconds. Okay. Well, that's a 1-to-1. Stop, Alexa, stop. Shut it. Shut it. She started talking to me about being able to set a timer for however long I want. No. I didn't ask about that. Hi. Hello. Hello, my dolly. You're moving? You're moving? How's my dolly? So I see I have a few people around. Hello and welcome to the stream. I hope you are learning along with me to some extent about things and stuffs. We're going to make that there. This is going to shift to those because I know that it's a 1-to-1. This needs magnetic coil. How much magnetic coil? 2 per second. I'm pretty sure that a single machine making magnetic coils makes 2 per second. It makes 2 per second out of magnets and the copper ingots. So for this build, I will need magnets and copper ingots. No, don't build that way, build that way. This will not need any other inputs, so I can freely shift things over. And this guy needs the glass on its input. It needs how much glass on its input? It needs prisms. It needs 1.5. So a Mark 1 at distance 1 is enough for that. I will need to feed in how many prisms? 1 per second. This is a distance 2 minimum. Is a distance 3 on the placement, just probably because of the distance of the planet, so I'm going to need 2 there, and I'm definitely going to need more than 1 here. Because this is also going to need to be 2 per second. No, I need 1 per second over here. Duh. Get rid of that. 2, 1. That should work. I'm going to need 1 of those there. And I'll just do that there. So 1 of these is glass, and then magnets, and then copper. The thing is, I don't have the magnets anymore on my thingy. This is actually those things directly, but I don't want that. I want the magnets. Magnets. I had intended to do this last time, where I would put a splitter just like so. So then it's... How does one grab the top one? Just like that. Why are you trying to build down? I don't want to build down. I want to build... Oh, I do want to build up. Why are you trying to go to the right? Okay, now you work. Okay. Little bit of wonkiness on the building vertically. I think I've gone up a bit too much. Okay, why do you want to go down so soon? Right click to redraw, left click to confirm path. Okay, fine, we'll go to here. And then down. But we need to go over again. So you know what? We'll just go down 1 level. And we'll stay elevated. Until here, at which point then we'll go down. Now, I could do another splitter here. I'll do another splitter when I need another splitter. If I need to have these magnets go even further down. 'Tis as simple as that. Why am I making these energetic thingies? I don't know. Because I want to. No other reason besides just wanting to. And I wanted to use a different type of splitter to send things out going up a level. Like that. How nice. How convenient. That this is a thing that you can do. 3F1. I need to extend the glass as well. all the way down. It is nice that you can just send that out at will without having any, like, reach issues. It just places down the blueprint that your little constructo dudes will build. We're going to take this all the way down. Oh, and it also seems there is absolutely no issue just placing this directly over water. That was a thing that I was questioning initially. I sent that to the wrong location. I need you to be here. Yeah. That was a oopsies. Core energy will deplete soon. Okay, take that. Yes, place all of that. Maybe I should have stayed elevated a little bit longer, because I do need to also bring the copper ingots down, and they need to go over and be in that. So actually, I'm going to delete this completely. And we're going to go and stay elevated. But I said stay elevated. Oh, is it shift? Ah. Uh-huh. It's trying to snap, and you hold shift to not snap to building. Buildings apparently include other belts. Now you can go down. The third dimension is amazing. Excuse me. There you go. Slope is not too steep. Thanks. I must say, the slope is not too steep. Getting the satisfactory vibes of slope too steep. No. Slope not ever too steep. I apparently have 114k soil piles sitting somewhere in existence. And then I will need to power everything too. Go. Enjoy the power of the splitters. Hello, Ollie. You're moving around. You stretching. You're electric. You're electrified. If anything, making these things is gonna save us some time on production of stuffs. Ooh, that's in the way. Oh, wait. If I were to do a belt out, this should still function, right? Yes, it is. We're just #1 tile from destruction, thanks to all of this coal here. Fortunately, if I need to run a bus down a line, we don't have to worry about there being stuff on the ground, because we can just go over it with our belts. Don't worry, you can just go over it with our infinite capacity, or ability to go over things. Go ahead and power all of the things at this point, and that will start making these guys for us, I would hope. Yep, we are making these things. Now what? Great question. Great question. Now what is to go and pick up circuit boards. Actually, I should have a chest just full of circuit boards. And a chest full of these things that I should probably hold on to. Just saying. Maybe we should hold on to a few things. Go ahead and hit that button. Go over here, grab... What was I going to grab over here? Additional steel. Most definitely. Yay! Things. So, those red dudes. Have I made oil refineries? Additional oil refineries. Oh, I needed fuel, right. Buildings. Additional oil refineries. Let's go. Make those. Thanks. I need fuel for me. I am realizing that this is having -3 consumed. It produces 180. So, if I ever need to actually draw the full amount of power from these three things, this is 1-to-1. There's no stockpiling of anything. If and only if satisfaction is at 100%, which, yeah. We're only at 2/3 right now. Oh. This is limited to 0.75. Uh-huh. Oh, we got more inventory. Great. Thanks. There you go. I mean, it's probably only making point... Oh, it's doing 30. It's doing 0.5. Yeah. It's like, probably not making more than 0.75. Yeah, it's making half a second off of the stone here. But why is glass stone? I would think of glass as silicon. But hey, you know what? We'll take it. We shall take it. Ah, you see, there's a partial eclipse of the sun from that planet there. Clarkrov 1. This game does look really nice. Does look very pretty. Extremely pretty. So, storage chest is what I usually have out here. F1. Go ahead and, let's fill this chest with these things as soon as you are, in fact, powered. Hey, plasma exciters. At scale. Whatever scale that is. What that really means is that I could automate the production of power poles now, as well as anything else like oil extractors and oil refineries that may need them at any point, and anything in the future that may need them. Huzzah! How does one get water gathered from ocean? Yeah, but with what? Obtained from a water pump. Okay. What technology is the water pump? Right there. So you're saying I could get sulfuric acid right now. And I could do something with it, but the problem is there's nothing that's a final product type building or like batteries. I don't have the ability to make batteries as far as I'm aware right now, despite having access to solar panels. I was like, huh. Okay. I have made matrix labs. You are going to exist up here because you're going to be producing the reds, and that's going to need energetic graphite and hydrogen. It is 1/3 of 1 per second per matrix lab stacked, making it 1 per second. So it's 6/2, or 2/6, or 1/3. 1/3. One every 3 seconds per unit of the graphite and the hydrogen to make 1 in 6 seconds. Now, 3 of these stacked on top of each other are going to make 1 every 2 seconds, so it's 1/2 of 1 per second of these red energy matrices. The hydrogen needs to come in at what? What rate? What rate is this? If it's 1/3, it would be 1, because there's 3 of them. If it's 1/3 of 1 per second per tier, and we've got 3 tiers, well, that's 1 per second. So 1 per second equals 1/2 of 1 per second on these energy matrices. Proving that I can do some amounts of math, despite relying on mods to tell me the math for me. It's not that I can't do the math, it's that I'd rather have the mod do it for me. In Factorio, like actual craft time mod for Factorio, that's the kind of feature that I just want inherently. It's like, tell me how much you actually output every second, and how much you need to have every second for this building. Don't give me like the recipe is this every 6 seconds. Just tell me how many freaking things you're gonna make each second. That would be highly ideal. Highly ideal. I'm gonna get rid of that at this point, and I'm going to provide power to the machine. This is apparently going to be storing oil, crude oil, at 1.52 per second of the liquid oil. Now, does this actually, like, fill up with oil, fluid, as it fills? I am starting to see stuff in there. There is a fluid that is dark, that is slowly filling this tank, and it has reflections and all of that. So yeah, it does work. It does work that way in this little storage tank. But my main thing with the storage tank is that it's a splitter. It's a splitter that doesn't have the prioritization on it, input-output prioritization, because there's only, one item that it deals with. Output on and input on. I can turn input off. I can turn output off and just store for a while. Cool. Very, Neat. I actually need to grab 60 units of coal and 60 units of energized graphite real quick. Let's grab that graphite. There's the graphite, and up here I can grab the coal. Thank you kindly, game. Let us do stuff now. So what I'm doing up here with this oil at the moment is the basic processing, or what I plan on doing is the basic processing to get into hydrogen. The issue is that we are going to be left with this residual oil or refined oil that we can't do anything with. Besides, like, we could shove it into a generator, but that requires us to use a specific amount of power, and as far as I'm aware, there's currently no power prioritization in this at all. Thank you so much for the subscription and following my channel going forward. Thank you so much for that. Let's see, I want the oil refinery. Where is the oil refinery? Here. And we are going to need a spot that does input and a spot that will output from here. Great questions that I wish I needed the answers to. We can do 3 of these. I'm gonna keep a little bit of a gap. We're going to do this. This will be our input. We'll worry about the outputs. They'll go behind, I guess. We'll have belts that go out and merge up and then go the other way. Ooh, there's copper here. Why, hello. Copper. More resources. Let's see. I will need... Oh, hey, thanks. More power for my mech. Yeah, that should be fine. On the inputs, the issue will be the outputs on this basic of refinery setup. By the way, it is left caret, or left arrow, caret, parenthetical, and then right to paste, the right caret parenthetical to paste the recipes. It's not like shift right click, shift left click from Factorio. That's really easy to remember, but hey, there's at least a hotkey that allows you to copy and paste recipes built into this game. It's great. We need to sort our outputs. Ooh, 8 megajoules of fuel value? That's actually a lot. I would love to rather get this out of the gas giant, but hey. Steps. Baby steps, right? I would love to, you know... Where is it? Where are you? Of course we're on the opposite side right now. Of course I would love to, where... Come on. Come on. Spin. Planet. Spin. Which way are we rotating? That way. Eventually, we will see that we are on a moon around a gas giant. It would be great if at some point we could mine the gas giant for the hydrogen. I can just push M and see. Hey! There it is! There it is! There's our gas giant. There's our gas giant that we are in fact a moon around. This gas giant has 0.79 hydrogen per second that we can gather from it. Not even 1 per second. Oh boy. But something tells me there's going to be a lot of gas giants. Let's actually go right back to our mech now. And keep on a-truckin'. I mean, mechin'. I mean, things. 500. Wow, how much does this freaking thing store? A lot, as it turns out. Okay. That's fantastic. I need to have 2 belts that go out from here, and I'll need a couple mergers, and I'll need another tank, and all of that. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and, can I tab? No, I cannot tab. I'm just going to stick the tank there, and then this will go... Excuse me? Why, you know... I want that. I want that. Can I get... that? At least. Funny how the game is like, no, we're not going to snap to do that. So that's going to fill the tank. That's going to obviously be the output of the fluid, refined oil for now. We're going to do that. It needs a filter. Tab. Did that apply? Oh, it doesn't let you. Why does it? Oh, there you go. Set filter. Hey. You can just set the filter by clicking it and pushing the button to set the filter. Isn't that great? F.5. I'm pretty sure that is the rate. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the rate that actually produces stuff, so I'm very confident that I can get away with these level 1s. That's also going to be that, and then, of course, this guy out there. And then I need more Mark 1 filters right quick. Hey, or sorters, excuse me. Use the correct names. Ollie. How's my boy? How's a boy? He's getting up. How's a boy? How's that baby? He's stretching. He's stretching. Hello. We've got the Ollie and we got the Dolly. Yes, Meryl. My Dolly and my Ollie. How's my babies? Huh? How's my sleepy babies? They're so sleepy. Yeah, you want to go here on the desk again? Sleepy babies? Okay. These. Hydrogen. Hydrogen. And thank you for that. Hydrogen. Now, if I was putting more down the line, then could you not rare veins? What is it even talking about? And then if I was trying to build this further out, I would, instead of having these belts here, they would be here, and it would be mirrored, like this type of setup again, and again, and again. Copy paste it down the line, but because that's not the case, we are doing it like this now. I would also like to keep things looking decently. So I am going to use a splitter. Oh. Wrong splitter. 3, F7. Perhaps make sure that you are using the correct type of splitter. You know, actually, because I might be using this at some point, I think I will have the elevated one. It's just, I want the elevated one to be that one. Not this one. Because I might want to send that belt out from there at some point, which means that I will need to, elevate like so. It's nice that it does elevate to snap like that, and then there's actually enough room I could output from this that way if I so desired, and that should all be hydrogen. Cool. Let's get that placed and that placed. Now that's going to use a big bunch of power initially, and we've got a rather large tank before we run into problems, because this will stop when the tank is full. But remember what the tutorial guy said: when you remove a tank, you lose all the contents. So you effectively void all of the contents of a fluid tank when you pick it up. Which means all I would need to do is pick it up and put an empty one down again to keep my hydrogen production flowing for as long as I am here to do that manual process, right? That's how that will continue to work. Also, this will now incredibly slowly fill, because this is 1.52 per second, and these are, well, not that, shall we say. They are 1/2 each. They're 0.5 each, so 1.5, not 1.52. So this ever so slowly, 0.02 per second will fill. Okay, now I need to get this onto the main line and over to red, along with the energetic graphite right here. There we shall go. Just bring this line all the way up. Go ahead and be free, my minions. Build this belt. I know there is X-ray cracking. I know that this is coming, and that there is going to be a automatable process. And I know we can stack tanks and make them even bigger. We will be able to do all these things. I am planning on doing all of these things. We just need to make an initial supply of stuff. And all of the math is likely going to change when I get access to the X-ray cracking as well. It's very likely that that recipe set operates at different timings than this recipe set, which this recipe set is probably good if you have something to do with the residual oil, or I keep calling it residual oil, it's refined oil, quote unquote. Need to remember that. Too used to other mods, shall we say. Okay, you want me to go out that side. I want to go out this side, though. And then it's... how much? It's every other... huh? There's one here, so there's one here. Belt line go here, I would hope. Of course, the distances between the belts will change depending on the curvature of the planet. Alright, here we go. We are losing energy by doing all this construction and walking, but that's fine. We could go to a wireless power tower and recharge a little bit faster. Go, 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 hydrogen! There's also going to be gas giants that give us hydrogen. Just straight up give us hydrogen as hydrogen without having to deal with any byproducts whatsoever. There's lots of different things that will happen. I mean, it's likely also going to give us deuterium at the exact same time, and we'll have to deal with the deuterium, but hey, something different than this little process. The main challenge here with the red matrices is that, yes, you have to deal with the fact that you now have a process that gives you something you can't actually use yet, and it forces you into learning how to deal with buffers and stuff, and how to quickly transition to better processes once you've used what you need to use out of a process. We're also going to make very good use of a merger on the energetic graphite of a splitter with prioritized inputs on here to make sure that the outputs of the X-ray cracking of the energetic graphite are preferentially used in the production of the red matrices, and that the stuff that's coming from coal is going to be a extra thingy. You know, there's this coal patch here. I probably should have just done the energetic graphite here out of coal, but you know what? It's funner. Okay, we'll do it this way. What was I looking at? It was 1 and 1, wasn't it? So, off a stack of 3. We are going to elevate, of course, as best we can. Actually, what am I thinking? I can't immediately elevate and be above high enough on the neighboring belt, can I? So if I want to bring this over, what I will want to do instead, on both of these, because you never know, I might want to do other stuff as well, is I'm going to use splitters. And I am going to use, very specifically, this one. Now, what is the point of this one? Surely you would like the other one. Actually, yes, I would like the other one. But the problem is that with this type of splitter here, if you have 2 items... Oh, and these also stack, by the way. It's really nice. The problem is that they end up too close to each other. Okay? They end up too close to each other. We have this problem back here. When you have an item on the base level and you have an item that's coming in elevated, like right here, if we have stuff trying to go on the base level, A, there's no room to raise the thing, but B, I can't have this here, right? If I wanted to have the line come in right where I need it to, these two are too close to each other. These two are too close to each other. Can you directly grab items off of belts? Yes. When you click on a belt and you have the icon here, click and hold on the icon and you will pick stuff up from the belt. Hi, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. He's entered the lap. He's entered the domain of the lap. This heavy, heavy boy. Yeah, so you just click on it. That's the one I know for being able to pick stuff up off a belt. How you doing? Real good. Real good. How many do I have on me? None? Well, now I have 100. Isn't that great? Now these things, these 4-direction splitters, you can place these anywhere in line. That's the idea. These can be done anywhere in line. And it does not even remotely matter where they are. Ish. Just as long as our top level can come out. Excuse me, why are you not? Alright, I don't want you to snap. Please go that way and then go down. So this will be this one. I'm thinking that I'm actually not back far enough. 3 F7. I need this one, and it needs to be somewhere back here. In all actuality, on both of these. As long as we have them a little bit further back. Excuse me, what do you mean collides? What the heck do you mean collide with other object? There is no other object. There is no colliding. You are not colliding. Okay. So, I get that, yes, if it was one of the other types, it would collide, but it seems like the developers failed to take into consideration that this inline one should probably have a smaller collision box than the others, right? It should probably have a smaller collision box than the others. So you have to go all the way out there. Okay. Let's start with your position. Let's start with your position. 'Cause that's gonna be the one that goes there. I hope. Like, either way, this is gonna be a bit of a pain to handle. No, you. Need foundation support. Oh boy. Okay, I can place you. Perspective? Perspective, please. Huh. Huh. If I hold shift, it does nothing to move. There is no run. There is a series of techs that make the mech faster, but otherwise, yeah. And there's a flight mode to go faster. It uses your energy to run around faster, and it's alt to land. So we've just learned of an exploit in this moment. This is an exploit. This is clear bug. So it says shift at the right of the screen. I don't know why this is quick construction mode. Yeah, I don't know why. Because I'm in construction mode. I don't know why that shows up. some of these, not a finished product, let's put it that way. I'm just trying to think, actually, about life, the universe, and amazing glory. So it's actually even further back that this needs to be, but we've got water. And that's the problem. That's a major problem. Or we just go ahead and use a different type here. If at all possible. I'm just trying to make this look even remotely nice. Okay. Why do you have a problem? Ay ay ay. Don't you love game? Don't you love game? I love game. Game is great. Game is actually great, but sometimes we are trying to learn here. Tab to switch pattern, R to... Now, I know that in some cases shift allows you to sort of get off the grid pattern, like with mining drills, but not so here. See, I need it here. I need the thing here, but I can't because it needs foundation support. I could make foundation, but we're not gonna bother. We are going to instead just be offset a little bit. I was trying to avoid having to be offset, but you know what? Sometimes you just can't get what you want. Why are you trying to go up that high? I don't need you to go that high. Now, if you could just go down like that, that would be great, but I guess not. There. Dunzo. All this, by the way, just because of the spacing I have between my belts. They are simply too close for the size of the splitters. I was hoping that I could have them be with one gap between, but apparently they do need at least 2 or 3. You also just can't place them on top of the belt either, which is a little dumb. Yeah, because they're too close on here as well. Just a bit on the close side. Tree, please die. I've got other stuff that needs to come down here. Things like stone brick blocks, stone blocks exist here. You should have elevated as well, because then another thing would have had to go over. Also, that is doing its thing, like, right in the middle of all of my stuff, so everything has to, like, go over it now. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anyway. Let's get stuff put in and let's get a belt out with that going on, and let's get this all powered up. Welcome, Red Energy Matrices, to the wonderful, glorious party. Hoo boy, Red Matrices. They have arrived. I will need to grab more belt from there. Come on, grab additional belt. Thanks. This belt needs to get into this building right here. I'm going to imagine that it will start elevated by 2. Actually, I'll have to start elevating a little bit sooner. Yeah, a little bit iffy on the placements. Go all the way over to here. There we go. That will get that brought over. Then I just need to load it into the thing. And we will be able to process some glorious next level science. Yay. But only at 1/2 of 1 per second because, yeah. Anyway, what do I need? I need to unlock the X-ray stuff, which is here. X-ray cracking, which is moving already at 1/2 of 1 per second, of 1 cube per second, is going to need... so this takes 2 hydrogen and a fuel in order to make 3 hydrogen and a carbon. Now, note that that makes 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon, which is the exact ratio that you need when making the red matrices. Yes? If this is... But... You need an initial supply of hydrogen, A. And I don't know if you can manually toss that into the machine to get it to start moving. But you also need the supply of the oil, too. You need a supply of oil, of the processed oil. Well, the processed oil is also going to make hydrogen per unit oil. What do you do? Well, because this doesn't actually consume hydrogen, this makes hydrogen. What you'll have to end up doing is supplementing the carbon in here, the energized carbon, to make sure that you use all of the hydrogen, as well as you have to make sure that you're using all of the carbon that's made out of this. And this way we are able to use all of our byproduct processed oil in order to keep on making our energy matrices by giving us the 2 items that are used to make those, as opposed to the electromagnetic matrices. After this tech, getting into hydrogen fuel rods would be nice. Although that uses a type of plate that I don't think I have access to at this point in time. this is able to be made. More advanced magnetic field generators. You can manually shift some stuff in to start the cracking. Good. Good, good, good. That would be nifty. The stuff here isn't useful yet. This is... a thing. Photon combiner. For solar sails. With graphene. Oh, hey! There's the graphene. And the EM rail ejector. Huzzah! So this is the actual way that we are going to be making our Dyson Sphere. Main quest. It's actually it's actually titled Main Quest right here. So what we will need to do is we will need to take these prisms. Hey, we know how to make the prisms. As well as the electronics. As well as this graphene that that's able to be produced down here out of sulfuric acid and carbon right now. Sulfuric acid and carbon. That will lead into the solar sails. Use the ejector to launch a large number of solar sails to form a Dyson swarm, which can more effectively obtain the radiant energy of stars. Yep, that's what we need. And then these things are buildings that you place, you feed them the stuff, and they launch it out into the star. Well, not into the star, but around the star. Ah, batteries! Batteries! Accumulators! AKA batteries. These are things. Not what I was expecting things. These things. Crystal silicon. I can't make here. There's diamond as well, unlocked here at crystal smelting, as well as it's diamond and crystal silicon. So this needs a crystal silicon and 6 of that blue thing and 6 iron ingots. Oh, that's titanium. Okay. We don't have that here. The high efficiency systems are going to require what? That's a double speed belt. This is a better storage container. Ooh, there's the gas giant exploitation out that direction. This thing I saw. And this thing I saw. It's those... Okay. Satellite power distribution system. Wide area power distribution facility. Provide longer power transmission distances and larger power supply area. So, substations? AKA substations? I would imagine. Yeah, it says satellite substation. Duh. It's Factorio's substation. Big supply area, big connection length. Very expensive to build. So we're going to queue up these guys. At the moment, we'll need to be able to get into other planets. So, yeah. How does one do that? Probably through the upgrades tree. High-speed assemblers, we'll worry about that later when I am actually making graphene. We'll need that, but I think I need to actually look at the upgrades here. The core upgrade is just max energy. That's gonna take a while. The frame is speed. Yes, I'd like to move faster. I'd like more stuff. I'd like more drones. That's all well and good. Requires mech core level 2. Have I queued that? No, so okay, we'll queue that. The queue is now full. Hold arrow keys in flight, da. Unlocks mecha sail. Hold arrow keys with space in flight mode, which will activate sail mode at a certain altitude. In sail mode, mecha will orbit the planet at a higher speed. Then drive engine increases sail speed. In space, using caps lock to switch on a warp. Each time activate the warp will consume a warper. Okay. Solar sail life increases the operational life of solar sails. So is the point to get a certain number of active solar sails at a time before you can move on? Because the solar sails have a lifetime around the sun, and I would guess we need to be able to make enough of them to have them active at a given time. Ray transmission efficiency, because if that's the case and you need like billions of them, I can see that becoming relatively tedious pretty quickly if it just requires us to do the same thing at huge scale. Like forcing you to do a lot of the same process to get these things at sufficient amounts. But, I mean, the tech ideally is going to help in a sense by allowing us to speed up all of that to get to that scale more easily. That would be fine. Sorter cargo stacking. Increases cargo stacking for sorters Mark III. Okay. A lot of this comes later. So you're saying I should just be able to, like, leave and go somewhere else at some point very soon. On, so it says double press to lift off and increase move speed. In low altitude flight mode, flying will consume a lot of energy. Duh. Double tap space to lift off, do the thing, activate at a certain altitude. In sail mode, you'll orbit at a higher speed. You'll orbit at a higher speed, but does that mean you can, you know, go other planets? Research speed too slow. Well, I mean, I know exactly how fast it's moving. It's moving at like a half of one per second. Or at least it should be at half of one per second. Because that's how I've made this. Now, can I add 3 more? Yes, technically. Bring it up to 1. F5 and output and powered. Power the everything. X-ray cracking has officially completed. It is now time to set this up so that it is producing more hydrogen, I would hope, like more hydrogen, just straight off the bat, as well as, you know, a lot of things, wonderful things. Speaking of which, that container of the processed oil is a little bit full. It is about, not even a halfway. Okay. These things apparently hold a lot, but we can see that, yes, the color does change depending on the type of fluid it's holding. That's fantastic. Makes me wonder if we're going to have pipes and pipe logistics at some point. Oh boy. Wouldn't that be grand? So, how much is this actually producing in terms of the oil output? Again, it should just be 1.5, yes? So, when it comes down to... You need hydrogen fuel cells to have the energy to go interplanetary, okay. Well, the game gave me 5 at the start. How many I need? I don't know. What's the stack size? We'll work on getting our tech sorted. And we're gonna clear out this area here so that, or maybe back here. Maybe back here. Just, bring the oil around. Just bring the oil around a little bit. We need to calculate how many doohickeys we need. F. I need more oil refineries, ideally. Unless I already have one. I do have one. Okay. Mr. Oil Refinery, if you are doing X-ray cracking, how much do you process? You do 1/4 of 1 per second? Oh my god. Really? Huh. 1/4 of 1 per second of the oil is processed. Like, I'm making 1.5 oil per second. Thanks. Okay. So, what we've got here is a situation where I will need... Oh, gosh. 12? 10? 10 of these machines. Because it's 4... No, it's not 10. It's 4 per second, dummy. It's one, if I have 1.5, then it's 6. I need 6 of these oil refineries. Well, it's a good thing I just made 5 more. It's a real good thing I just made 5 more of these. Okay. Now to try to remember how others have done this. Or maybe I'll try to figure out on my own how I want to do this. So if I need 6 of these. The thing about these is that they make and require hydrogen. They make and require hydrogen. So, what we need to do is make sure that the hydrogen is fed back. Prioritized feedback loops. Now, there are many ways to do that. the thing is, a sorter cannot go out and back in on itself. So what I'll do, well, I'll need 2 belts on an output no matter what. No matter what, we need 2 belts here. 1 for hydrogen and 1 for the energetic graphite. And I will need 2 belts on the input. Now these are so slow that it won't necessarily matter so much how we do this. Which one's which. Now, the one that is the stuff, I think I'm just gonna have a merger, or splitter, shall we say. We'll have a series. We'll have a series of splitters. We only really need the one, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So this is going to be... Ah, good. Tech. Thanks. Yeah. So as long as I don't have to deal with more than 6 items per second of the hydrogen, which across 6 of these, I don't think that it will have to deal with that. That's not the type of splitter I want. 3F7. I do want to... or is it the type I want? I guess. I guess I will go with it. To do 3, F1, go in, 1, come out. There we go, and we're gonna have a prioritized output here. We are going to have a prioritized output. And then over here, we're going to have another splitter that will prioritize the input from here. Although I don't really think I need the hydrogen prioritized. It's the other guy. It's the other guy. But yeah, this is going to output priority. I don't need it to be a filter. I just need it to be a... I just need it to be a priority. So that when I add stuff coming out this way, whoops, get rid of that. Huh, interesting. Left click to prioritize output on this port, prioritize output on this port. You are, of course, hydrogen. Yes, that's what you are. You are prioritized out that way. And then I will have some sort of elevated input from over here for you as an input that will merge. Now there will be another splitter out this way, but that's just going to be a merger, not a splitter. And all of these are going to be the energetic carbon, and that's how that's going to feed back into the system. And in all actuality, the way that I'm going to do this is not by directly inserting stuff into the thing, but by placing a storage chest down and filling it with a few feeder units of hydrogen. And that will output and do the stuff and things, get them to do their first cycles and such. And these are so slow. Let's do that. Let's do that. And this is going to be the oil in, which I guess I could just... No, you're going to be on the ground there, buddy. Oh, that's a thing which is in the way. There we go. This Tesla tower is in the way. Yeah, the last thing I want is to try to fly to another planetary body and then realize, oh hey, I don't have enough fuel to get back home. I have run out of fuel. Hey buddy, core, shift, or control, click on that. On that. I need my fuel. Where's my fuel? Fuel! Save me. And then have to build up again to the point of making enough stuffs to get back home. Hey, flyers. There you go. Good. Good, good, good. Great thing about those fluid buffers is that they... or fluid storage tanks, is that they are literally loaders in and unloaders out. They operate at the speed of the belt that you're using rather than the speed of the sorters that you're using. Which, you know, a lot of these buildings almost look like you can just connect a belt directly into them, which is slightly unfortunate that you can't do that you must use these. This water is going to be in the way, isn't it? I think it is. But, you know what? We shall overcome. Oh, phew. It is just... barely good enough. Just barely good enough. I need more belts. Oh my goodness. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Dolly. My babies. Oh, you're not... Wait, what? You are not processing fast enough? It must be because it needs more... This tech needs 4 times more blue than red? Interesting, and it can and it wants to process them evenly. Huh. That's interesting. Either that or the reds just simply have more life to them? How does one find that information out? Because I'm pretty sure it's just this tech. It's processing blues 4 times as fast as it's processing reds, leading to a backup here I mean, to some extent, it makes sense that it would want to do that, but when I'm capped at 1 per second on blues, that means that this, for the duration of this tech, I'm using 1/4 of 1 per second for the reds, rather than 1. Yeah, I get that it's scaling to the most needed, but that is... and it causes an inconsistency on demand. Right? It causes inconsistent demand. I would rather it just consume both of them at the rate it needs and at 1 per second and process the remaining blues after finishing the reds. And then back up on the reds from there. I mean, it's 2 different ways to do the exact same thing still. Still, it assumes that, like, you're producing way more blues than you are reds. Which I'm like, huh? No. I am producing exactly as many reds as I am making blues. Thanks. Anyway, do that sort, do this, and head on over this way to continue to work on the wonderful, glorious stuff. Now, I may need to have those shorter belts be elevated at some point. What I do know is that that needs to go there, and that this will need to elevate. You go there, you go there. You shall elevate. Oh, right. Lack of item. The whole point of leaving was to go and grab this storage. At least we know we don't have to sit through handcrafting of belt, huh? At least we don't have to sit through that anymore, because I took the opportunity to build my belt beforehand. Alright. This does not need any priorities. This is the one that needs the priority out. It's nice that this rotates so that you always know which one it's referring to on its output. That is fantastic design. Let's just make that clear. That is fantastic design. I don't need to worry about sorters. It's this one that needs to be the hydrogen. That's one thing I don't know. Is it possible to... Huh. Okay. We make it work. So how did I go about that again? So that's the hydrogen, that's the energetic, that's the energetic, that's the hydrogen. That's the hydrogen, that's the energetic, that's the energetic, that's the hydrogen. Ollie, you're like falling off. I've got this guy. I've got this kitty. This big round, this ball of fur and heat. Yes, this ball of fur and heat, this pretty boy. Just curled up and being pet right there in the lap. And then of course we've got Dolly. We've got the Dolly. Yes, the baby girl. The sister. The little sister. Right behind. Let's see, let's get the 3, F1, go. This way. Place belt, thanks. F4. There, 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 and there, there. Beautiful. Glorious and magnificent. Now, I need to combine all of the other stuff. I need to combine the others. And I will do that in a merger that will exist, or a splitter, quote unquote, that will exist over here. This one can be on the floor. F1, you can come out. This way. You can go. Aww, it's not far enough away from you. It's like you're joking, right? It's like you're joking, right? We're gonna run into these types of things a lot. The hashtag one tile issue. Why are you trying to snap to that port when you should be trying to snap to that port? Excellent. It's already 4:22. My goodness. It's like 38 more minutes left in the stream. What? That's bogus. Huh? Okay, we're going to elevate this. And then I'm going to need to add a merger. In here. Or add a split, excuse me. I call them mergers, it's splitters. Just getting mixed up with satisfactory terminology. It's all in a splitter. This splitter. Very specifically, and what this is going to do is it's going to prioritize the input from here. This is all you need to do. Just prioritize the input from this system, and it will make sure that you are using the output from the oil, processed oil processing of the X-ray cracking. That's it. That's all. It also produces an excess 1 on the hydrogen, so you have to do the exact same thing with the hydrogen right in here. Just, you know, shift click. I can use the base model. F1 in, F1 in, F1 in. Click on the thing and it will prioritize the input from that side. And that's that. All I need to do now is make sure that everything has power. I mean, this is a little bit of belt getty up here. It could be done a lot more compactly and, yeah, just not as messily. But, I mean, it's the 6 things in a line. That's all it really is. It's 6 things in a line. Built for the full output that this thing is going to give, this oil extractor is going to give. Alright, power, you. I apparently need more of you. A few more of you. Thankfully, I am holding on to these plasma exciters. Cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. For later. I apparently was holding on to the coils as well. Give me some of those that I can just make. Hey, just give me more of those big towers. Thanks. Okay, I need to make sure that you cover everything. And then all I need is to seed the initial hydrogen into the system. Ow, 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 ow. Ollie. Ollie has left. He does so using claws to grab a foothold. And it doesn't really matter that I have all of this stuff that I just added, because of course once this cycles and all of the belts back up in here, then the rest is going to go out the line. I should prioritize the other hydrogen. I need the processed oil for other things. No. No, because if I prioritize this hydrogen, this one backs up and stops this from moving. And when this thing is full, that would then also stop this from moving. I mean, yes, then this can go and this can... It causes issues on power usage, okay? This is a lot of freaking power. Like, yeah, I need more. I would rather have this moving constantly. The way that I've set it up, it's going to keep it all moving 100% of the time. The amount of fluid that I have in this is actually not going to change. Okay? The fluid that is in this tank now, assuming no issues with power causing changes to percentages and all that, this tank is going to have this much stuff in it for a while. When I need more, I'll make more. Okay? When I need more, I'll make more. Right now, I need more power. Apparently. I should have a little crate over here that will allow me to solve the immediate issue by adding additional wind power. That will help with some of the immediate. Not all of the immediate, but some of the satisfaction issues. What I really need to do is get additional thingies. Don't I have 3 of you and you guys? Yep. Okay, how many can I get around this? There's 7, 8. Okay. Get this placed. This should ideally be 240. I will need another generator. Where are they? Genor. Ator. Thermal power station. Go. And then I will need... for that to go doink. And then... excuse me. It offsets doink and doink. And doink. This is enough, yes? Hold up. That's 4 off of 8. And it is consuming evenly. I have done this math. Go, go, go. Why did that not shift? Please don't count as being 2 tiles. Please don't count as being... Okay, thank goodness. Counts as 1. And you count as 1. And that is, my friends, another 6 point something megawatts. We are now satisfied on our power while doing this X-ray stuff. Shenanigans. X-ray shenanigans. Why are you not moving? Why are these 2 not moving? Hello? What did I screw up now? Okay. Why is the overflow not overflowing? Huh. Hello. Hello, Ollie and Dolly. You wish the sorters would show the actual items per second when placing them. If you click on them after you've placed it, yeah, it'll show you the stuff. Why is it not sending anything out? Is it because I have a filter? Yes, it is because I had a filter on it. That is why. So if you have a filter, it will send all and only out that one thing. All of the filtered item and only the filtered item out that one thing. It won't send any of the filtered stuff out that way. Yep, it is because I had the filter. Now it shall flow freely. The only thing is, now I think we have a little bit of a thing here where you are, yep, going to, see what happens? It pulls in and it's coming from here. It pulls in and it's coming from here. Pulls in, it's coming from here. They're moving. So I'm vastly overproducing, by the way, for the amount of stuff that I need to do the red thingies. I'm pretty sure. Oh. What? Like, I am pretty sure I had enough for you. For all 3 on the stack for you. Don't I have the ability to stack 2 more? No. That is a tech, though. You can totally stack even higher. Let's see, what am I working on right now? What technologies? This is the inventory capacity, followed by the extra drone, followed by the... what? Followed by what? That looks like another upgrade. Mech core. Yes. Queue up that flight speed as well. I would like that flight speed. So does that mean that I picked up the one for the... oh, there it is. I need the hydrogen fuel rod. That's necessary. I'm going to imagine that the thruster makes you go faster between planets. Can drive logistics drones. Oh. To transport goods between interplanetary Ooh. Yes. Can drive logistics vessel to transport goods among planets. Vessel. Drone. Vessel. So, is it intraplanetary? Yeah. Intra. Okay, so this is within the same planet, so you need to move stuff over huge distance across the planet that you're on. So if you need something on one end of the planet to the other end of the planet, so this is basic logistics bots from Factorio. Right? This is just Factorio Logibots, and then this is the interplanetary. This is the intraplanetary. Okay. My god. It's a valid word, intraplanetary, but you can be a little bit clearer by saying, just not including this word. Just between logistic stations. Distant logistic stations. Yeah, it's just planetary. Distant logistic stations. They wanted some specificity, I guess. It is a valid word, it's just... when people... It's psychology. When people read, you're only reading the first couple of letters, and then the last couple of letters. Everything in between, most of the time, doesn't actually matter. As long as the letters are accurate to a degree. And when there's only a 2-letter difference between words, that's when it matters. That's when things can matter on the stuffs. 44.35. That's still about the same as it was, wasn't it? Isn't it? Like, that's still about what it was. And that is what I would like going forward. I don't think this goes down at all. It should, I think, stay the same. Yeah, see, because we are still pulling from this. Yeah, just drones, too, yeah. And other logistic systems. Because I'm pretty sure you can catapult stuff from planet to planet. Pretty sure you can. So right now, I guess all I'm doing is waiting on tech. But if I'm going to be doing the solar sail stuff, I should be building out sulfuric acid. That's what I should do right now. I'm going to build a couple of water pumps. I will need a couple chem plants. Apparently I need more glass for that. Unless you need prisms. No, you just need glass for that. Okay. What else? What else should I be worried / concerned about? A couple more storage tanks. Oh gee, I need more glass for my storage tanks. May as well keep a stack of those on hand, as well as a stack of those on hand. You are here! Welcome! What you have missed is that I now have the red matrices, and have now done the X-ray cracking, I suppose, of the refined oil. We are very refined around here. And actually thinking about it, I will need refined oil to get into the sulfuric acid now, won't I? Just Tex. Where are you? Where are you? Chemistry, here, you. Yeah. That uses the residual oil, or the refined oil. See, what I would like with this is to take the amount of, like, I want this to be as in a merger, or splitter. I want to split out the refined oil from the oil that I'm producing. For that, I would love to be able to just make refined oil without having to deal with a hydrogen output, or burn the hydrogen, or just burn it. Thing is, it has pretty good fuel value. That isn't a great response. Ooh. Yellow tech. Diamond and hedrons. Whatever. Titanium crystal. Great. As well as a crystal. A organic crystal. Which you can get out of the manually produced organic stuff, or out of plastic and the processed oil. Where is additional ranks of oil processing? We have plasma and X-ray cracking. Okay, that's it. Apparently, that is all of the stuff. The plasma extract refining, plasma refining, and X-ray cracking. That's all you got. Huh. There are upgrades. There are upgrades. Okay. We've done that thing. Upgrades. We've got solar ray energy dissipation. We've got stacking, logistic carrier and engines and capacities, vein utilization, research speed. We've got solar sail life. We've got drive engines. We've got drone engines, energy circuits, mech core stuff. That's what's in here. That's what's in here. Technologies are just in here. It might be somewhere else in the tech tree that there's other thingies, but what I was primarily trying to look for is just other ways of getting into the processed oil without having a byproduct. Guess I read it wrong? Read what wrong? That's all I'm looking for, is just ways to get into processed oil differently. To get that processed oil and not have to deal with the hydrogen. I would hope that at some point in future there will be an upgrade to do so. Because right now there does not seem to be. Well, regardless, plenty of ways to make things go fast and store lots of energy. Artificial stars. Yes. Let's go with that. Unlocks mission completed. Okay. I don't care about anything. Just if I'm clearly in the wrong about something, just tell me. Or if I'm clearly not actually correct objectively about something, or if I am missing something that is blatantly obvious, yeah, just say something. I'm the type of person who wants to know all of the things and be the encyclopedia of knowledge. That is me. I am the encyclopedia. If I play multiplayer online games and I'm like in a clan, that like I'm the guy that knows everything and also remembers everything. It's like I am the one that answers the questions. H2 from oil can be used in another tech that is more useful long-term than burning it. Have I unlocked interstellar travel yet? I have not unlocked interstellar travel yet. I haven't left my home planet yet. I haven't even left this moon. This moon around the thingy. I haven't even gone to the other two yet. We've got this one here that has titanium and a lot of titanium and a little bit of silicon. Still 3.5 million silicon. Like, really? Like, what does this home planet even have going for it? What does this even have going for it? We've got 3 million iron and 1.2 million copper. Compared to, 4 million iron, 3.5 million silicon, 16 million titanium. I mean, it's the most iron. Second most iron. It's the most copper. No, this one's got 10 million copper. Oil. Oil is seriously what I've got on my home planet. And that's it, as its main resource. What did you knock down? Ollie just knocked something over, I think. Alright, so where does it show that I have oil here? It says I have an ocean of water and crude oil. It's highlighted in yellow. So that must mean that the item, if it's in yellow, means that it is a unique, rare resource. Yes? A unique resource to that place. And this is crude oil for this planet. Unreachable. 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 Requires drive engine 4. Oh boy, we need to get to drive engine 4. What tech are we working on? Drive engine 2. So to even go interstellar, we need to get the yellow and the purple information matrices. Okay, so there's a green and a white that come afterwards. Yeah, I get the feeling that the game at the moment, in like the current state, is that it's very front-loaded with content to do in your own singular planetary system, rather than a late game focus on the interstellar stuff. Am I getting that vibe correct? Because it seems like, I mean, there's 2 other techs. You go through 4 types of matrices before you even can go to other stars. From what I'm gathering based off of those stars saying you need to be level 4 before you can go here. On the, whatever, engine upgrade. Or I may have been looking at the correct thing. Probably not even looking at the correct thing. Because that was the drone. I wasn't even looking at mine. Oops. Where's mine? I mean, there's my mech core, but where's my mech thrusters? Drive engine 4. It's only 3. Oh, thank God. So, drive engine 4 needed to go interstellar. You just need to get to yellow. Okay. Okay. Just yellow. And you need it for the level 3 as well to get into yellow. And this one's queued to let me do mech sailing. That increases mech sail speed, and that allows interstellar. So it's the sail that takes you to the other planets, yes? Pretty sure, something along those lines anyway. If I could even go now. I might be able to go now if I had the fuel for it. Speaking of fuel, I need fuel. Yeah, I also need to start planning out the, launching of stuffs. Launching of solar sails. So, sulfuric, that's what I was trying to find initially, before we got into all that. I am unlocking the hydrogen fuel rods right now. Excellent. Basic chemical engineering. You are oil, stone, and water. God, that ratio is awful. Can we agree? It's 4 every 6 seconds. 2 every 3 seconds. On the production of stuffs. Where is that water pump? So where does the water pump need to live? On coast. It must live on coastline. Like, you realize this planet is freaking 30+% water. Where am I going to do this? I guess up here. Land, thanks. How much do you make? I probably should have looked at that before placing the building. Hey. How much do you do? You do 50 per minute. You couldn't have made that 60? Like, why could you not have just made that 60? So we need 6 of those before we actually get a number divisible by 60 to get into 300 per minute to get an actual whole number value on our amount per second. Great. Or even, like, any number divisible by 60 per second. Ugh, great. Or 30. Well, anyway, 1 is going to be enough for now, shall we say. Let's just make it clear that that will be the case for the moment. Give me power. I hope that's close enough. Yes, it is. We are pumping water. Pumping water. Now, I am also a little bit confused about, well, why do we not have to go interstellar to complete the game? Like, why is that just an optional thing to speed up the process of making making our Dyson Sphere? Because apparently it's, if you don't care about production speed, you never have to leave this system to finish the Dyson Sphere. That I don't think I particularly like or agree with. For the, like, right now, sure, that's fine, but by the time the game releases, I'm going to expect there to be resources in the greater star cluster that we have to find and get to use for this Dyson Sphere. That's what I'm going to hope for as we go along. I now have the ability to make the hydrogen fuel rods.
The data shows this is a planet without natural titanium.
I know, buddy. I know. There's totally another planet with titanium veins that's full of ice. What do I need for these hydrogen fuel rods? Because I'll need them to go to the other planets. Here. That's another thing. It's like, these things are like, what does the 1 through 8 even mean? I need titanium to make hydrogen fuel rods. I need titanium for it. Great. So, do they sort of just expect you to go to the other planet and build a base that can make these? Like, what do they expect? Because the other thing does not have oil. Right? We get 5. We get 5 of these. So how much fuel do I need to go to the planet with the titanium? To get titanium? Or do I just take hydrogen with me? Because you can craft these yourself in your own personal replicator. I know some of the ground rocks give me titanium, and I am literally carrying around some titanium ore right now. I don't have the tech yet for the titanium plates. Where is that? Hi. We'll add that, and we'll add that, and we'll add that, and we will add that. What the heck is that? So, yeah. You're able to actually receive the power from the Dyson Sphere that you are building. That's nifty. You went with carbon, worked as well. Yeah. Just, I'm sure any fuel works, it's just that this is a particularly dense fuel of 40 megajoules on these fuel rods. I mean, yes, I'm sure you can just fill your inventory with coal. Or energetic graphite, because it's a... while the graphite is an energy-neutral conversion from coal, it does offer a lot of fuel value for its stack by comparison to coal, unless there is a major difference in stack size. Hold up, let's find out. I'm currently holding 54 in the stack. 68. Is the stack size 100? In which case, then it is identical in stack size to coal. It's just more stuffs per unit, yeah. So this is more resource dense per stack in your inventory of the carbon. And I'm going to hope that this fuel rod stacks to oblivion as well. More than 5, ideally. I'm assuming you say it's 30 for the stack size of the fuel rods. But I'm looking at the time. It is now 5 o'clock, which means it is now officially time to end the stream. That is actually declining. Alright. Fine. We will change this in how it operates. In how it fundamentally operates. So that this fills, and then this stops, and then this goes until this fills. And yeah, anyway. I don't like the fact that that is a thing that will shut down parts of the factory, but if I have to maintain something or other, like if I need to maintain the sulfuric acid, I will need to make sure that this is able to keep, that this piece can move on the liquid consistently, at least to feed as much sulfuric as I need. Anyway, with that, folks, we got our red matrices today. I guess the next stream that we do is going to be about getting ourselves out of this planet, off of this planet, to the others in this system. Unless I just want to do the solar sails first, if I even can, without getting titanium and all that. Let's just have a look at this. This needs graphene, and the other thing, that needs those. Oh, it needs the CPUs. Okay, that's gonna get into silicon stuff. So yes, I will need to start thinking interplanetary to get the silicon as well as the titanium that I will need before we can really start doing the solar sails. That is the magical stuff to think about. With that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Shobot. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to like and comment and subscribe if you have not subscribed, as well as hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I do post the video, scheduled video for when I will go live. You can also become an Erudite Otaku member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button down below the video. You can, of course, also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushobot if you are so inclined and able. I will be playing this game again on Sunday at the same time from about 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. I do have other things on Friday afternoons, and I take Saturdays off. I will be back streaming tomorrow morning at my usual 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. time slot. More Autonauts! More Autonauts! Tomorrow morning. And then Sunday morning, more Factorio on our Angels Bob's Space Extension playthrough that I am calling Space Angels. I hope to see you all on whatever next place in stream you decide to return to. I will see you all then.